for many, the cycling season starts here as we hit the first of the Cobbled Classics, and Omloop Nieuwsbland starting in the famous Ghent to Kuipke Velodrome, the ancestral home of the Ghent 6-day, and we will take in this famous sections of cobblestones, the climbs, starting in Ghent, which is known pretty much as the beating heart of cycling in Flanders. So let's look through the course that the riders will be tackling today. So 5.6 kilometres of a neutralised section, and out of Oosterzele we get to cobble section 1, the Langemunte, then through town through Krasnodar, but it's into Oudenaarde really where the climbs really come thick and fast, and they are this. We're basically taking in some of the most iconic climbs in cycling today.
Yeah, and it's really back-ended, as you can see there on the graphic. Sort of the last 75 kilometres of the race, all of the climbs are jammed into that section. So
we go out 43 kilometres to go. So we are now live pictures from this front group. So with 43 kilometres to go, our next objective will be the Haaghoek. We'll have just gone over the Molenberg, okay, the Haaghoek, and then and then into the Leiberg, and this is this big left turn here. So we're now seeing, we start now, Danny, to see here with 39k to go, a bit of a shuffling of position, and yet again it's Elise Chabet through to the front here for the FDJ team.
yeah, it looks like it's been a really hard day out so far for the riders. You could see that as soon as we came on air, the first pictures that we had was a relatively reduced groups coming back, and that will be kind of the pattern throughout this race now, that you see that the strongest riders really trying to use the parkour to their advantage. Elise Chabet going on the attack on the Leiberg, taking Gasparini with her. This is a handy group that's going up the road now.
So Elise Chabet's second attempt here to try and get clear. We just dropped down through the group here. So we have Femke Marcus here just at the back for SD Works Pro Time. Anna Henderson just alongside her, the British rider here in the blue shorts for the Lidl Trek team. Surprised Anna Henderson just kind of ride into her classic season. Right, we just see Zoe Baxter just on our right here behind Demi Vollering in that white jersey of European champ. She's got her teammate Nasia Koloslava just in front of her, and Zoe, like Fleur Moors that we just saw through to the front, Zoe finished the cross season really strongly, jumped from the World Championship cyclocross to finishing third in the bunch sprint behind Lorena Vivas just a few days later, and then put in for me one of a career ride up to the top of Jebel Hafid as well. So we've got to look at some of the emerging talents like your Zoe Baxters, like your Kat Fergusons and your Fleur Moors coming through.
Of course, and it is a real balancing act of how they are able to combine both the cyclocross and coming into the road season. You know, it really depends on how active the cyclocross season has been for them, because, you know, as you mentioned, we've got a few of the real talented cyclocross riders racing here today.
So looking down from the helicopter shot, the Phoenix Premier Tech team. Oh, big crash. We've got a big crash down in the group. So riders down. Caroline Swinkles unfortunately has gone down, and just saw that ricochet of the group, unfortunately. Got the SD Works Pro Time jersey just getting up. So riders just talking into the radios. Got Human Powered Health, got one rider down. Oh, unfortunately Zoe Baxter's gone down. We just see the Canyon SRAM rider there looking for a bike. Vollering now that's on the front of this race. Here comes Franzi Koch. Big ferocious move here from the German champion, who's leading out now for her new teammate.
That's another one to get used to, isn't it? Franzi Koch moving over to FDJ United Suez over the winter. putting in a storming lead out here for Demi Vollering.
And is starting to just crack this group. This is the reason why the FDJ United Suez team signed Franzi Koch, because she has just absolutely decimated the front of this group as she tries to lead out for team leader Demi Vollering. And they've got Chabet ahead of them. This, you can see here, tactically for FDJ today, looking good as Koch just surrounds that group. And it's Letizia Borghese of the AG Insurance Sudal team, the Italian-Belgian, second in last year's Paris-Roubaix, who's now latched onto this. And Franzi Koch is just going to go straight past. And it is Katia Nubiadoma that's trying to come up. We go down through that group. Millie Cousins is there. There is Fleur Morse in that next group. There's Elisa Balsamo going through, but Gasparini, Burton have managed to make it on as Katia Nubiadoma just tries to make it across. Looking back down to that next group, Shari Boss out there in the blue, white and green colours. There's Millie Cousins, British champion in that white jersey on the front. There's Wiebes. And this is what FDJ wanted. They needed to get rid of Lorena Wiebes on this climb.
Yeah, that's their only option, is to really try and distance the Dutch champion on this hardest section of the race. You can see Demi Vollering, the European champion, really gritting her teeth. This is the very steepest part of the Muur van Harrisbergen.
So Kasia Nubiadoma doing a great job. Millie Cousins, we said, was a rider to watch out for. And this is a great ride from the British champion on the front. And Lorena Wiebes will be pleased with the work being done by the British champion. Cabal in the pink. This is the Muur Moor. So ramps of a touch under 20% is the maximum gradient. And the cobblestones are, they're grisly, aren't they? The Moor cobblestones. So looking back down through the group here, there's Anna Henderson. Oh, Lotte Kopecky trying to come back through the group. There's Caroline Swinkles. So Kopecky potentially there, delayed by that crash, but trying to come back through the group. So the top of the climb, Kasia Nubiadoma, Demi Vollering, Franzi Koch, and then just over 20 seconds back to that group being led by Millie Cousins with Lorena Wiebes not far away. And that front group now with a touch under 20 seconds, they've just got to put the hammer down and stop Lorena Wiebes from getting back to the front. Back to the front now, and it is the European champion and the Polish champion that are clear. Demi Vollering driving on with Kasia Nubiadoma, and we have got one climb to go, and it is the climb of the Bosberg, which just rears up in front of the riders. But two former Tour de France Femme Avec Zwift winners now clear on their own. Nubiadoma driving on, so a good duo with 15 kilometers to go. And then we look for our chasers. So Letizia Borghese. So from the aerial shot, Franzi Koch, Eleonora Gasparini, Nina Burton and Elise Chabet are the chasers. So Franzi Koch, they're doing a great job to after the effort that she made just to recover and stay here. But this is advantage FDJ with Demi Vollering up the front and two riders in the chasing group.
Yeah.
There's the gap, and the Bosberg is one of those times it's dead straight in a way. You can see the group behind, and Wiebes was the rider that was doing the work on the front of the group behind.
Yeah, it looked like Anna van der Breggen had done all that she could there and was drifting back through the group. You can see Demi Vollering. Yeah, that's it. So Anna van der Breggen there has been dropped from this group. She tried all that she could to get her leader in the shape of Lorena Wiebes back into contention, and now it's going to be down to Wiebes herself to try and close this gap.
There's Letizia Paternoster here in the grey shorts with the purple sleeves. Danique Hangeveld for Visma Lease Bike in the yellow colours, and Paternoster, we've seen perform really well in the classics in previous years, but there's some fast finishers in this group just ahead, because you can see Kat Ferguson just on the back there, two of the biggest names in the sport. And you would sense here as well, though, that for Cassia, how would you approach this one? We would say out of these two that Damie is the fastest finisher out of the two of them.
Although we did see Cassia beating Demi in a sprint, I think it was in the Tour de Suisse last year.
We did, didn't we?
We did, yeah. But yeah, I mean, obviously Demi Vollering is in superb form. We saw that in Setmana Valenciana just a couple of weeks ago.
There's the shot from the helicopter, and we go back, and Anna van der Breggen, she had done the big turn on the front for Lorena Wiebes. Just before the Bosberg, made it back into the group, and look at the pace on the front of the breakaway here for Damie Vollering. And as we said, she's never won this race. She's finished second and third. And we kind of, if we go back to the 2022 edition when she came in with Annemiek van Vleuten, and let's have a listen.
She's basically just roaring Cassia on, isn't she? Come on, do the work, take me to the line.
So through 1 kilometre to go, Vollering still looking at the head unit, flicks the elbow to Cassia Niewiadoma. Is she going to come through and give Damie Vollering a turn? It looks like she is. We head along this section of road, then we got a bit of a sweeping right-hander, and then we'll line up for the finish. But Damie Vollering manoeuvres Cassia Niewiadoma through to the front. You would say this is the position that she would want to approach the finish from. Niewiadoma swings off, and Vollering comes through. The road will swing right now and open up for the finish. Niewiadoma now onto the wheel. Damie Vollering leading out. Who is going to jump first? So Vollering is going to hug the barriers here. She'll look to try and manoeuvre Cassia Niewiadoma through to the front. Flicks the elbow with 400 metres to go. And Niewiadoma, understandably, is having none of it. It's going to mean that Damie Vollering has to lead out here. But they have enough of a gap to hold off those chasers behind. Vollering, hands on the drops, poised and ready for the sprint. Niewiadoma already out of the saddle. Damie Vollering now launches the sprint. Does Cassia Niewiadoma have anything to come off the wheel of Damie Vollering? Vollering powering for home. Damie Vollering takes her first ever Omloop Nieuwsblad in incredible fashion. A great show of strength for her, and an incredible performance as well from Cassia Niewiadoma. Her best ever finish. Lorena Wiebes leading out the sprint behind. Caroline Swinkels on your right, but Lorena Wiebes comes through to take the third spot on the podium for the SD Worx Pro Time team. Kat Ferguson, Franzi Koch all up towards the front. But what a show of strength in the end, and a great battle between two grand champions. What we came to see, a fight between Damie Vollering and Cassia Niewiadoma, but it's a win for FDJ United. And you've got to say, top marks for tactics today.
It feels good. Yeah, it's really nice to finish it off here today. I mean, it was a bit my own expectations also that I would do it, but then still to do it makes me proud. And also the team did really a good job the whole day in the front. And yeah, I mean, Elise in the breakaway, and then Francie, who did the perfect lead out on the Muur. I almost didn't do anything myself for my feeling. It was really nice to do this with the girls.